Olivia Mercer watched through the viewport as the massive crystal ship entered Earth's orbit. The ship glowed with colors she had never seen before. As the lead scientist on the space station, she should be excited. Instead, she felt afraid. "Lieutenant Mercer, they're asking for you by name," said Commander Ellis through the comm system. "How is that possible?" Olivia shook her head. "I don't know, sir. I've never met aliens before. The alien ship was beautiful. It looked like a giant diamond with smooth sides that changed colors as it moved. Scientists had been searching for alien life for hundreds of years, and now they were here, asking for Olivia. "Report to the meeting room," ordered Commander Ellis. "The diplomatic team is waiting." Olivia's hands shook as she fixed her uniform. Why her? She was just a scientist who studied possible alien life forms. She had never expected to meet actual aliens. The meeting room was filled with important people. Military officers in pressed uniforms stood next to government officials in suits. They all turned to look at Olivia when she entered. "Lieutenant Mercer," said Admiral Carter, "the aliens call themselves the Lyrithians. They refuse to speak to anyone but you." A large screen on the wall showed the inside of the alien ship. A tall figure with shimmering skin waited there. The alien looked almost human, but her skin glowed with shifting colors and her eyes were like deep pools of stars. "I am Queen Zaravex," said the alien. Her voice seemed to come from inside Olivia's mind rather than through the speakers. "You are Olivia Mercer?" "Yes," Olivia said, her mouth dry. "How do you know me?" The alien queen's skin rippled with blue and green lights. "Your pattern was foretold. We have waited many cycles for this meeting." The military people looked at each other nervously. Admiral Carter stepped forward. "What do you want with Earth?" "We seek alliance," said Queen Zaravex. "A great darkness approaches your world. The Void Collective consumes all in its path. We have fought them for many generations, but now we need new allies." Images appeared on the screen. Black ships that seemed to swallow light. Planets cracking open like eggs. Stars going dark. "The Void Collective destroys everything," continued the Queen. "They will reach your solar system soon. Without our help, you will not survive." Admiral Carter frowned. "Why should we trust you?" "You should not," replied the Queen, her skin turning a deep purple. "Trust must be earned. That is why I wish to meet with Olivia Mercer in person." The room erupted in argument. Some officials thought it was too dangerous. Others saw a chance for new technology and protection. In the end, they agreed to a meeting on the neutral ground of the space station. 3 days later, Olivia waited in the station's large conference room. Her heart beat so hard she thought it might jump out of her chest. The door slid open and Queen Zaravex entered. She was even more stunning in person. Nearly 7 feet tall with graceful movements, her skin constantly shifting with colors that seemed to express her emotions. But the Queen was not alone. Behind her came a smaller figure, clearly younger but with the same shimmering skin and star-filled eyes. "This is my daughter, Princess Lyravex," said the Queen. She spoke out loud this time, her voice musical and strange. The young princess studied Olivia with curious eyes that shifted from deep purple to bright silver. She looked like she might be a teenager in human terms, though Olivia had no idea how Lyrithians aged. "Your world faces great danger," said Queen Zaravex. "The Void Collective does not just destroy bodies. They consume minds, souls, everything that makes a species unique. They have already taken many worlds. Why come to us?" asked Olivia. "Earth is not very advanced compared to your people." The Queen's skin flashed with gold sparks. "You have potential, hidden strengths, and there are connections between our peoples that you do not yet understand." Before Olivia could ask what that meant, alarms blared throughout the station. A voice over the intercom announced that unknown ships had been detected at the edge of the solar system. "They have found us sooner than expected," said the Queen, her colors darkening to stormy blues and grays. She turned to her daughter and spoke in a musical language. The princess nodded, though she looked afraid. Queen Zaravex then did something unexpected. She took her daughter's hand and placed it in Olivia's. "The war comes," said the Queen, her eyes intense. "Take care of her. She carries our future." "Wait," said Olivia, confused. "What do you mean?" "I can't." But the Queen was already moving toward the door. "I must lead our fleet against the first wave. There's no time to explain everything. My daughter knows what must be done. Trust her as I trust you, Olivia Mercer." "But why me?" Olivia called after her. The Queen paused at the doorway. "Because you are the bridge. It was always meant to be you. Then she was gone, leaving Olivia alone with an alien princess who looked just as confused and frightened as she felt. What did she mean? Olivia asked the princess. Princess Lyra looked at their still joined hands. My mother has seen this moment in the streams of time. You and I must work together to save both our peoples. Her voice was softer than her mother's but still seemed to echo in Olivia's mind. I don't understand. Neither do I, fully, admitted the princess. But I know that the Void Collective cannot be fought with normal weapons. We need something more. The station shook as something exploded far away. Through the viewport, Olivia saw flashes of light as ships engaged in battle beyond the moon. What do we do now? Asked Olivia. Princess Lyra's skin glowed with determined gold and red patterns. Now we prepare. Mother will hold them back as long as she can, but we must be ready when that is no longer enough. Olivia looked at the alien princess, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. How was she supposed to take care of an alien princess? What did the queen expect her to do? As if reading her thoughts, Lyra squeezed Olivia's hand. Do not worry. We will learn together. That is why Mother chose you. Because you can learn, adapt, and help others do the same. Another explosion rocked the station. The battle was getting closer. Come, said Olivia, making a quick decision. We need to get to somewhere safer. Then you can tell me everything you know about these Void Collective aliens. As they hurried through the station corridors, Olivia couldn't help thinking that her life had just changed forever. Whatever connection existed between her and the Lyrithians, whatever reason the Queen had for trusting her with her daughter, one thing was clear. A war had come to Earth, and somehow Olivia Mercer was now right in the middle of it. 1 week after the Queen left, Olivia and Princess Lyra moved to the lunar base. The battle at the edge of the solar system had ended with the alien ships retreating, but everyone knew they would return. Admiral Kate Hudson called Olivia to her office. Through the big window behind her desk, Earth looked peaceful and blue. Tell me again why the alien queen gave you her daughter, said Admiral Hudson. Olivia sighed. She said, I need to take care of her. The Princess Lyra carries their future, but she didn't explain what that means. And the princess won't tell you? She says she only knows parts of her mother's plan. She was raised to come here to help us fight the Void Collective, but the details... Olivia shrugged. She's still learning too. Admiral Hudson tapped her fingers on her desk. Some people want to study her. Others think she's a spy or a trap. She's not, Olivia said quickly. She's just young, scared. Her whole world is at risk, just like ours. That's why I'm keeping you as her guardian, said the Admiral. She trusts you. And for some reason her mother chose you. Find out why, Lieutenant Mercer. There's more going on here than we understand. Back in their quarters, Olivia found Princess Lyra staring at a screen showing Earth news. The princess touched the screen and suddenly she spoke in perfect English without any accent. How did you do that? Asked Olivia, surprised. Lyra's skin flashed with proud yellow lights. I learned through touch. Your data systems are primitive but useful. If our systems are so primitive, how can we help fight the Void Collective? Lyra turned away from the screen. It's not your technology that interests my mother. It's your people. Humans are special. Special how? The princess walked to the window, looking out at the stars. Your kind feels so loudly. It must be exhausting. What do you mean, feels loudly? Emotions. They flow from you like water. My people control our feelings, show them only through our colors. She demonstrated by making her skin shift from blue to purple to gold. But humans broadcast their emotions everywhere. The Void cannot understand this. It confuses them. Olivia sat on the couch. So your mother left you here because humans have feelings. Not just feelings, potential. Lyra sat beside her. May I show you something? When Olivia nodded, Lyra placed her cool fingers against Olivia's temple. Suddenly, Olivia's mind filled with images. Stars being born, planets forming, and life evolving. She saw creatures that looked almost human but glowed like the Lyrithians. Our ancestors visited Earth long ago, Lyra's voice explained in her mind. They found primitive humans and saw something special, a spark that could grow. The images shifted to show alien visitors watching early humans, then more images of aliens mixing with humans through the centuries. Lyra pulled her hand away and the vision stopped. Your DNA has pieces of us inside already, said the princess. Very small pieces, dormant for thousands of years. But they're there waiting. Olivia's heart raced. Are you saying your people changed us? Made us different? Not changed, enhanced, prepared. Lyra's skin glowed softly. My mother believes that humans can awaken these dormant genes, become something new, something that can fight the void. Why didn't she just tell us this? Would your leaders have believed her? Or would they have feared us more? Lyra asked. The Void Collective destroys worlds, but fear can destroy trust. That night, Olivia couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about what Lyra had shown her. If humans really had alien DNA, what did that mean? What was supposed to happen now? Her questions were answered at 3 a.m. when alarms blared throughout the base. Olivia jumped from bed to find Lyra already up, her skin dark blue with worry. They're here, said the princess. A small group testing our defenses. They rushed to the command center where screens showed 3 black ships near Mars. The ships didn't look solid. They seemed to shift and flow like shadows. Our weapons aren't affecting them, reported a soldier. The missiles pass right through. On the screen, 3 research stations on Mars went dark, one after another. They're feeding, whispered Lyra, her skin pale with fear. Consuming the minds and knowledge of your people. Admiral Hudson turned to her. How do we stop them? Normal weapons can't touch them. They exist partly in another dimension. Lyra looked at Olivia. But I can help some of your people see them as they truly are. Fight them where they're vulnerable. How? Asked Olivia. The dormant DNA, I can awaken it. Lyra's eyes shone with determination. But it will change those who volunteer. They will become something new. Admiral Hudson frowned. Change them how? They'll gain abilities. See things others cannot. Feel the connections between dimensions. Lyra held out her hand, creating a small ball of light. Some may even learn to do this. The room fell silent. Changing human DNA seemed dangerous, maybe wrong, but the black ships had already killed dozens of people on Mars, and Earth would be next. I volunteer, said Olivia, stepping forward. If the Queen trusted me with her daughter, then I trust her daughter with this. The princess smiled, her skin glowing with warm orange. I hoped you would say that. Over the next day, 50 soldiers volunteered alongside Olivia. They gathered in a large room where Lyra explained the process. It will hurt, she warned. Your body is changing at a deep level. But when it's done, you'll be able to see the void for what it truly is. Fight it on its own terms. One by one, the volunteers stepped forward. Lyra placed her hands on their heads, and each person glowed briefly before collapsing in pain. Hours later, they woke up different. When Olivia's turn came, she felt nervous but ready. Lyra's hands were cool on her forehead. Your connection is stronger than the others, whispered the princess. That's why Mother chose you. Then pain exploded through Olivia's body. It felt like fire in her veins, like every cell was being torn apart and rebuilt. She screamed, then everything went black. She woke to a new world. Colors were brighter. She could feel the emotions of people around her like gentle breezes on her skin. And when she looked at her hands, her skin had a faint glow, almost like Lyra's but much subtler. What happened to me? She asked, her voice sounding strange to her own ears. Lyra helped her sit up. You're awakened now. The first of a new kind of human. One who can see between worlds. I feel everything, said Olivia, overwhelmed by sensations. That will fade as you learn control, promised Lyra. But now you can help teach the others. We don't have much time. As if to prove her point, alarms sounded again. The black ships had left Mars and were heading toward Earth. Olivia stood, feeling stronger than before. Then we'd better get ready for them. For the first time since the Queen had left her daughter in Olivia's care, she understood why. This wasn't just about protection. It was about transformation. Princess Lyra wasn't a refugee. She was the key to humanity's evolution. And Olivia was the first to cross that bridge into something new. 2 weeks after the transformation, Olivia stood with the other changed humans on the observation deck. They called themselves the Illuminated now. Their skin had a soft glow and they could see things others couldn't. They're coming, said Olivia, feeling the strange ripple in reality that meant void ships were near.
3 big ones heading straight for us. Admiral Hudson, who couldn't see what Olivia saw, checked the radar screens.
They showed nothing. Are you sure? Yes, said all 50 Illuminated at once, their minds linked in a way normal humans couldn't understand. Princess Lyra entered the room, her skin shifting with worried purple patterns. The Void Hunters have found us. They want to stop what we've started. In the 2 weeks since the transformation, more humans had volunteered. 200 were now illuminated, with new ones joining every day. Each transformation was guided by Lyra and the first 50, who helped the new ones adjust to their changed senses. "We need to intercept them before they reach Earth," said Olivia. "If they touch down, they'll start feeding on mines." Admiral Hudson nodded. "Take the new ships. They have the modifications you asked for." The engineers had worked with the Illuminated to create weapons that could affect things in multiple dimensions. Normal missiles passed through void ships, but these new ones were designed to follow the Illuminated's mental guidance into the spaces where the void creatures were vulnerable. Olivia led 30 Illuminated to the ships. As they prepared for launch, she felt Lyra's mind touch hers. "Be careful," the princess said through their mental link. "The hunters are stronger than the ones you faced before." "We'll be ready," promised Olivia. The fight began in Earth's orbit. To normal humans watching from below, it looked like random flashes of light, but to the Illuminated it was a battle across dimensions. The void ships were like living shadows, flowing and changing shape. Inside them were creatures that looked almost like giant squid made of darkness, with too many eyes that glowed with hungry red light. "They're trying to break through," shouted Ben, one of the Illuminated pilots. "I can feel them pushing at my mind." Olivia felt it too, a cold pressure trying to get inside her thoughts. The void creatures didn't just want their bodies. They wanted their consciousness, their memories, everything that made them human. "Focus on the link between us," Olivia told the others through their mental connection. "They can't get through if we stand together." The battle raged for hours. 3 Illuminated ships were lost, their pilots' minds overwhelmed by the Void's psychic attack. But in the end, the humans won. The Void ships retreated, leaving behind one damaged vessel that crashed into the moon. When they returned to the lunar base, Admiral Hudson was waiting with news. "We've captured one," she said. "A Void creature survived the crash. It's contained in Lab 3. Olivia, Lyra, and the Admiral went to see the prisoner. It floated in a special chamber designed by the Illuminated to hold it in this dimension. It looked smaller outside its ship, about the size of a large dog but with too many limbs and those horrible red eyes." "Can it communicate?" asked the Admiral. Lyra nodded. "I can translate its thoughts." The creature's eyes fixed on the princess, and it made a hissing sound that hurt Olivia's ears. "It recognizes you," said Olivia, feeling the creature's hatred. "Yes," said Lyra. "The Void Collective knows my family well. We've fought them for generations." The creature spoke in a series of clicks and whistles. Lyra's skin darkened as she listened. "It says they've already won," translated the princess. "It says the queen is theirs now. What does that mean?" asked Admiral Hudson. Lyra's voice trembled. "The Void doesn't just destroy. It takes over. If they've taken my mother..." She couldn't finish, but Olivia understood. The queen might still be alive, but under Void control. A puppet used against her own people. "Ask it what they want," said the Admiral. Lyra spoke to the creature in its own language. Its answer made her step back in horror. "It says they want evolution. They consume advanced species to add their uniqueness to the collective. And now they want humans too, especially the Illuminated." The creature suddenly lunged at the barrier, making everyone jump. Its limbs melted into shadow-like tentacles that probed for weaknesses. "Get back," shouted Olivia, feeling the barrier start to fail. "It's breaking through." Guards fired at the creature, but their bullets passed through it. Only the Illuminated could see where to aim. Olivia focused her mind and projected a burst of energy that struck the creature in its central mass. It shrieked and collapsed. "We need to destroy it," said Lyra. "If it escapes, it will call others," but it was too late. The creature's body dissolved into a black mist that seeped through the tiniest cracks in the lab walls. Alarms blared as systems throughout the base began to fail. "It's in the computers," realized Olivia. "It can travel through electrical systems." For the next hour, chaos ruled the lunar base. The Void creature jumped from system to system, causing failures and taking over machinery. Robots turned on their human operators. Airlocks threatened to open to the vacuum of space. Finally, Lyra had an idea. "We need to create a mental trap, something irresistible that will draw it in." "Like what?" asked Olivia. "Me," said the princess. "It wants Lyrithian consciousness most of all. I'll open my mind, let it think it can take me. When it tries, all of you must strike together." It was dangerous. If they failed, Lyra would be consumed, but they had no other choice. In the central chamber of the base, Lyra stood alone while the Illuminated formed a circle around her. She closed her eyes and began to glow brightly, broadcasting her thoughts like a beacon. It's coming, whispered Olivia, feeling the creature's hunger as it raced toward them. The black mist poured into the room, swirling around Lyra. It formed into its squid-like shape again, reaching for her with shadow tentacles. Lyra's face showed pain as it touched her mind. "Now!" shouted Olivia. All 50 illuminated focused their minds on the creature, creating a cage of pure thought. It shrieked, trying to escape, but the combined power held it trapped. Slowly, they compressed the mental cage, squeezing the creature smaller and smaller until, with a final scream that echoed in their minds, it vanished completely. Lyra fell to her knees, exhausted. Olivia rushed to her side. "Are you all right?" she asked, helping the princess up. "Yes," said Lyra, her skin pale but slowly regaining color. "But I saw inside its mind when we connected. I saw what they've done to my mother and our people." Tears slid down Lyra's face, glowing like tiny stars. "The Larithian Empire isn't fighting the void. We've already fallen. My mother was one of the last free queens. She sent me here because Earth is our last hope." The room fell silent as everyone absorbed this news. The enemy was stronger than they thought. An entire advanced civilization had already been consumed. "If they took the Larithians, what chance do we have?" asked Ben, voicing everyone's fear. Olivia helped Lyra to a chair. "We have something they don't expect. The new Illuminated aren't just humans, and we're not just Lyrithians. We're something new, a bridge between species." Lyra's skin began to show hopeful gold patterns. "Olivia's right. The void consumes single species, takes their strengths, but they've never faced a hybrid before. Your human adaptability combined with Lyrithian awareness creates something they don't understand." Admiral Hudson, who had watched the battle against the creature with amazed eyes, stepped forward. "Then we need more Illuminated. A whole army of them. And we need better weapons," added Olivia. "If they've taken the Larithian fleet, they'll be coming with forces we can't imagine." As they made plans for Earth's defense, Olivia couldn't help wondering about Queen Zaravex. Was she still alive somewhere fighting the void's control from inside? Or was she completely gone, replaced by a perfect copy that served the enemy? "We'll free her if we can," said Lyra, reading Olivia's thoughts. "But my mother would want us to protect Earth first. That's why she brought me to you." Olivia took Lyra's hand, feeling the connection between them grow stronger. "Then we won't let her sacrifice be for nothing. We'll build an army the void has never seen before, and we'll take the fight to them." The princess squeezed her hand, their skins glowing in matching patterns of determination. Together! 1 month after the void creature's attack, Earth had changed. The Illuminated program had expanded rapidly. 5,000 humans had now undergone the transformation, with more volunteering every day. Olivia led the training programs from the lunar base, teaching new Illuminated how to use their abilities. Some could generate energy fields like Lyra. Others developed enhanced healing or could see possible futures. All of them could sense the void and fight it on its own level. "You're getting stronger," said Princess Lyra as she watched Olivia create a ball of light between her hands. "Your connection to the energy field is deeper than the others." Olivia let the light fade. "You said before that your mother chose me for a reason, that I had a stronger connection to Larithian DNA. Why?" Lyra's skin flickered with nervous blue patterns. "I wasn't sure at first, but now I've studied your genetic structure more closely. The markers are clear." "What markers?" "You're a direct descendant of Larithians who stayed on Earth thousands of years ago. Your DNA is almost 15% Larithian. Most humans have less than 1%. Olivia sat down, stunned. "So I'm part alien? That's why the Queen asked for me specifically?" "Yes, my mother must have sensed your bloodline." Lyra touched Olivia's hand. "You're a bridge between our peoples in the most literal way." Before Olivia could ask more questions, Dr. Samantha Wells entered the lab. The chief scientist had been studying the captured void technology from the crashed ship. "We found something," said Dr. Wells, her face grave. "You both need to see this." In the science lab, Dr. Wells showed them communication logs recovered from the void ship's systems. "We've translated parts of it," she explained. "It's mostly status reports to their fleet, but this section mentions the Lyrithian royal ship." On the screen, strange symbols shifted and changed. Lyra read them, her skin turning pale gray with distress. "It says the Queen's ship is leading the main void fleet," she whispered. "They're calling her the Converted One." "What does that mean?" asked Dr. Wells. "It means they've taken her mind," explained Olivia. "The Queen is under their control now. Lyra's hands trembled. If they have Mother, they have access to all her knowledge. The royal genetic codes, the location of any Lyrithian safe worlds. And they know about you, added Olivia. About what we're doing here. Dr. Wells looked alarmed. How long until they reach us? The message mentions the final approach beginning in 2 lunar cycles, said Lyra. That gives us about 2 months. 2 months to prepare for an invasion led by the most advanced ship in the Lyrithian fleet, commanded by a queen who knew all their secrets. The news spread quickly, creating fear but also determination. Admiral Hudson called an emergency meeting with Earth's leaders. Olivia and Lyra attended by video link. We need to accelerate the illuminated program, said Olivia, and we need to build more ships with the new weapons. The public is getting nervous, said President Clark. Some people think we're creating a new species that will replace humans. Others think we should surrender to the void, try to negotiate. Negotiation is impossible, said Lyra firmly. The void doesn't make deals. It consumes. Either you join the collective by surrendering your mind or you fight. Then we fight, said Admiral Hudson. But we need to know exactly what we're facing. Princess Lyra, what capabilities does your mother's ship have? Lyra's skin darkened. The royal vessel contains our most advanced technology. Dimensional drives that can move between realities. Weapons that can destroy planets. And worst of all, the genetic repository. What's that? Asked the president. A collection of DNA from every species the Lyrithians have encountered, including the original pure Lyrithian genome. Lyra looked down. With it, the void could create perfect hybrids like the illuminated but under their control. The room fell silent as everyone absorbed this information. Is there any way to free your mother? Asked Olivia. To break the void's control? There might be, said Lyra hesitantly. The royal bloodline has mental defenses against invasion. If enough of her true self remains, a direct mental link might reach her. You mean you could connect with her mind? Asked Admiral Hudson. It would be dangerous, warned Lyra. If I failed, the void could use the connection to take me too. We need more information before we try anything that risky, said President Clark. Dr. Wells, focus your team on finding weaknesses in void-controlled beings. For the next week, Olivia worked with Lyra and Dr. Wells to study everything they knew about the void. They analyzed the captured technology and the remains of the creature they had destroyed. Look at this, said Dr. Wells one evening, pointing to a scan of void particles. They maintain a quantum link to the main collective. That's how they share consciousness. Could we disrupt that link? Asked Olivia. Maybe. Dr. Wells adjusted the scanner. If we created a powerful enough quantum field, we might be able to cut off individual void entities from the collective mind. Lyra leaned forward, her skin brightening with hope. That could free my mother without destroying her. They worked day and night developing a quantum disruptor based on Lyrithian technology and human innovation. The illuminated engineers could see the quantum connections, making it possible to target them precisely. 1 month before the Void fleet was expected to arrive, they tested the device on a small piece of Void technology. It worked. The quantum link shattered, leaving the technology inert. We need to scale this up, said Dr. Wells. Make it powerful enough to affect a whole ship. But time was running out. Earth sensors detected movement at the edge of the solar system. Scout ships testing their defenses. Olivia led a team of Illuminated to intercept them. The battle was fierce but quick. With their new abilities and weapons, the humans destroyed 3 Void Scouts without losses. They were testing us, said Olivia when they returned. Learning our capabilities. And now they know about the Illuminated, added Ben, who had become one of their best pilots. They'll adapt to our tactics. Lyra paced the command center, her skin flashing with worried colors. We need to be ready for their main attack. The Queen's ship will be at the center of their fleet. Admiral Hudson pointed to the tactical display. We'll position our forces here in Earth orbit. The lunar base will coordinate. An alarm interrupted her. All the Illuminated in the room stiffened, feeling a powerful presence entering their solar system. They're here, whispered Lyra, her eyes wide. But it's too soon. On the screens, a massive ship appeared near Jupiter. It was beautiful and terrible, a crystalline structure like Lyra's mother's ship, but twisted and darkened, with shadow-like tendrils extending from its surface. That's the royal vessel, said Lyra, but it's changed. A communication request flashed on the screen. Admiral Hudson looked at Lyra, who nodded tensely. The screen filled with the image of Queen Zaravex. She still looked like herself, tall and regal, but her once colorful skin now crawled with shadow patterns. Her eyes, once full of stars, now glowed with red void light. "Daughter," said the Queen, her voice a mixture of her musical tones and a harsh, grating sound, "I have come for you." Lyra stepped forward, her skin pale with shock. "Mother, what have they done to you?" "They have enlightened me." The Queen's face showed no emotion. "The collective is perfection. You will join us, as will the humans you have changed." "Never," said Lyra. "We'll free you from their control." The Queen tilted her head. "There is nothing to free. I am more than I was, and soon you will understand." Her gaze shifted to Olivia, the hybrid one. "You have served your purpose well, preparing these humans for ascension." Olivia felt a cold touch in her mind as the Queen, or the thing controlling her, tried to reach into her thoughts. She blocked it using the mental defenses Lyra had taught her. "Your fleet is still a month away," said Admiral Hudson. "You've come alone. I need no fleet to reclaim my daughter." The Queen smiled, but it never reached her eyes. "But they are coming. Prepare yourselves if you wish. It will make no difference." The communication cut off. Immediately, sensors showed the royal ship moving toward Earth at incredible speed. "Battle stations," ordered Admiral Hudson. "All illuminated to your posts." As alarms blared throughout the base, Olivia turned to Lyra. "The quantum disruptor. Could it work on your mother's ship?" "It's not ready," said Dr. Wells. "We need more time to scale it up." "We don't have time," said Olivia. "The Queen's ship will reach Earth in hours." Lyra's skin showed determined red and gold patterns. "Then we need to board her ship. Use the disruptor at close range directly on her." It was a desperate plan. The Queen's ship would be heavily defended, filled with void creatures and corrupted Lyrithians, but it might be their only chance to stop her before the main fleet arrived. "I'll assemble a strike team," said Olivia, "the best illuminated we have." "I'm coming too," said Lyra. "I need to be there. If any part of my mother remains, I might be able to reach her." As they prepared for the mission, Olivia felt fear but also a strange sense of destiny. From the moment Queen Zaravex had placed her daughter's hand in hers, she had been on this path. "We'll bring her back if we can," Olivia promised Lyra as they boarded the stealth ship that would take them to the Queen. "And if we can't, then we'll stop her," finished Lyra, her voice steady despite the pain in her eyes. That's what she would want. The stealth ship approached the Queen's vessel, moving silently through the shadow of Earth's moon. Olivia stood with Lyra and 8 other illuminated soldiers, preparing for the most dangerous mission of their lives. "Her ship's defenses will detect us soon," said Lyra, her skin shifting with nervous blue patterns. "We'll have only one chance to board." Olivia checked the quantum disruptor, a device the size of a small backpack. "Remember, we need to get this close to the Queen. It should break the Void's control without harming her." "And if it doesn't work?" asked Ben, one of the illuminated soldiers. Olivia met his eyes. "Then we do whatever is necessary to stop her from reaching Earth." The pilot's voice came over the comm system. "Approaching target. 30 seconds to intercept." Lyra touched the wall of the Queen's ship when they reached it, her fingers finding hidden patterns. A small door slid open, revealing a dark corridor. "Mother always had secret entrances," she explained, "for emergencies." They slipped inside, moving carefully through the twisted beauty of the Lyrithian vessel. Once it might have been filled with light and color. Now shadows crawled along the walls and the air felt cold and dead. "I feel them," whispered Mira, another illuminated soldier. "Void creatures. All around us," Olivia nodded. She felt them too, like cold spots in her mind. "Stay together. Shield your thoughts like we practiced." They moved deeper into the ship, following Lyra's memories of the layout. Twice they hid as corrupted Lyrithians passed by, once beautiful beings now twisted by void influence, their skin dark with crawling shadows. "The throne room will be at the center," said Lyra. "Mother will be there." As they approached the heart of the ship, resistance grew stronger. Void creatures sensed their presence despite their mental shields. The first attack came suddenly, shadow tentacles reaching through walls to grab at them. "Now," shouted Olivia. The illuminated soldiers focused their minds, creating weapons of pure energy that could harm the void in its own dimension. The battle was silent but deadly, fought across multiple planes of existence simultaneously. 2 of their team fell, their minds overwhelmed by void influence. The others pushed forward, fighting room by room toward the center of the ship. Finally, they reached a massive door covered in ancient Lyrithian symbols. "The throne room," said Lyra, her voice trembling slightly. "She's inside. I can feel her." Olivia squeezed Lyra's hand. "Remember, that's not just your mother in there. It's the void using her body and memories." "I know," said the princess. "But if any part of her remains, we'll try to save her," promised Olivia. "But be ready for anything." The doors opened at Lyra's touch, revealing a vast chamber. Crystal columns stretched toward a high ceiling where galaxies seemed to swirl. At the center stood a throne made of the same crystal, and upon it sat Queen Zaravex. She looked both magnificent and terrible. Her royal robes flowed around her like liquid starlight, but her skin crawled with shadow patterns. Her eyes, once filled with stars, now burned with red void light. "Daughter," said the queen, her voice echoing strangely. "You've come home." Lyra stepped forward. "Mother, we've come to free you." The queen laughed, a sound that sent chills down Olivia's spine. "Free me? I have never been more powerful." She rose from her throne, floating slightly above the floor. "The void has given me knowledge beyond anything our people dreamed possible." "It's not giving you anything," said Olivia, moving to stand beside Lyra. "It's using you. Taking your knowledge to consume more worlds." The queen's gaze fixed on Olivia. "The hybrid one. You've served your purpose well. The humans you've changed will make excellent additions to the collective." "That will never happen," said Olivia firmly. The queen smiled, but it never reached her eyes. "You cannot stop what is coming. My fleet will reach Earth in 20 days. By then, all of humanity will understand the gift of unity with the void." As she spoke, shadow tendrils began to extend from her body, reaching toward them. The remaining illuminated soldiers formed a protective circle, their minds linked in defense. "Now," whispered Olivia to Lyra. While the soldiers engaged the shadow tendrils, Olivia and Lyra moved forward with the quantum disruptor. If they could get close enough to the queen, they might break the void's control. But the queen was powerful. With a gesture, she sent 3 soldiers flying against the crystal walls. With another, she created a barrier of shifting darkness between herself and the others. "Your resistance is meaningless," she said. "The void has existed for millions of years, consuming thousands of species. Humans are nothing special." "You're wrong," said Olivia, pushing against the barrier with her mind. "Humans adapt, we change." Combined with Lyrithian awareness were something the void has never faced before. The queen's expression flickered, showing uncertainty for the first time. The hybrid program was a mistake, a desperate plan by a failing queen. "It wasn't a mistake," said Lyra, her skin glowing brightly with emotion. "It was hope, Mother. Your hope for both our peoples." For just a moment, something changed in the queen's eyes. The red glow dimmed and stars seemed to flicker behind them. "Lyra?" The queen's voice sounded different, more like her true self. "What have I done?" "Mother!" Lyra pushed harder against the barrier. "Fight them. We can help you." The moment passed. The red glow returned to the queen's eyes and her face hardened. "Pathetic tricks. The queen is ours now. Her consciousness serves the collective." The shadow barrier grew stronger, pushing them back. 2 more soldiers fell as tendrils wrapped around their minds, corrupting their thoughts. "We need to get closer," shouted Olivia, the quantum disruptor humming in her hands. Ben and the remaining soldiers focused their energy, creating a small opening in the barrier. "Go," Ben yelled. "We'll hold it as long as we can." Olivia and Lyra slipped through the opening, rushing toward the queen. Shadow tendrils lashed at them, but they blocked them with shields of mental energy. "Mother, please," begged Lyra as they approached. "Remember who you are. Remember why you sent me to Earth." The queen raised her hand and Lyra froze in place, caught in some invisible force. "The princess will join us willingly," said the queen. "Her genetic structure is too valuable to damage." Olivia continued forward alone, the disruptor now only a few steps from the queen. "You won't take her. You won't take any of us, and who will stop us? You?" The queen laughed. "What are you but a failed experiment? A diluted bloodline barely worth harvesting? Despite the Queen's words, shadow tendrils frantically tried to stop Olivia's approach. She pushed through them, feeling their cold touch trying to seep into her mind. "I am what you fear most," said Olivia, her skin beginning to glow brighter than any human illuminated before her. A bridge between worlds. Something new. With a final lunge, Olivia reached the Queen and activated the quantum disruptor. Blue energy exploded outward, surrounding both of them in a field of shifting light. The Queen screamed, a terrible sound that seemed to come from multiple throats at once. Shadow tendrils thrashed wildly as the quantum field disrupted their connection to the Void Collective. In that moment, Lyra broke free from her restraint and rushed to join them in the field. She placed her hands on her mother's temples, forming a direct mental link. "Mother, come back to us," she pleaded, her mind reaching for any trace of the true Queen. Inside the quantum field, a battle raged that none of the others could see. The Void fought to maintain control of the Queen's consciousness. While Lyra searched for her mother's true self, buried deep beneath layers of Void influence, Olivia added her strength to Lyra's, their minds joining in the search. Together, they pushed back the shadows, finding tiny sparks of the Queen's original consciousness. "There," said Lyra through their mental link. "I can feel her." The sparks grew stronger, connecting into a pattern that felt like the Queen they had known. Colors began to replace shadows on the Queen's skin as her true self fought to regain control. "Help me," came the Queen's true voice. Weak but determined, the three of them, Queen, Princess, and Hybrid, joined minds completely. Olivia felt the Queen's ancient wisdom, her love for her daughter, and her desperate plan to save both their peoples. She also felt the Queen's sorrow for the deception, for not telling humanity the whole truth from the beginning. "No time," the Queen's thoughts explained. The Void was too close. Had to act quickly. With a final surge of combined will, they pushed the Void influence out of the Queen's mind. Shadow tendrils retreated from her body, swirling around the room in angry patterns before dissipating completely. The Queen collapsed, caught by Lyra's arms. Her skin slowly returned to its natural luminescence, colors flowing across it in gentle waves. "Mother?" Lyra's voice trembled with hope. Queen Zaravex opened her eyes, now filled with stars again instead of red void light. "My daughter," she whispered. "You found me." Tears of joy fell from Lyra's eyes, glowing like tiny stars as they rolled down her cheeks. "We did it. We freed you." The Queen's gaze shifted to Olivia, the hybrid one. "I chose well." Olivia helped the Queen to her feet. "Your Majesty, the Void Fleet is still coming. We have 20 days before they reach Earth." "Less," corrected the Queen, her voice growing stronger. "Now that I am free, they will accelerate their plans." "We have perhaps 10 days. Can we stop them?" asked Ben, who had survived the battle along with one other soldier.